Hey, what's up guys, Joker back here with another new video. Today in this video I will be showing you how to draw this beautiful illustration as you guys asked in my Insta poll. By the way, if you're not already following, do consider following me. These are my handles here, so let's get started. A disclaimer for you guys, the end product will not be as same as the one showed before, and don't get frustrated if yours look different from mine, and a basic understanding of Photoshop is required for this tutorial. Before we get on with the video, let's see what we're gonna need. At first, you need to have a computer that you can do this on. You can do this on other devices, but I'm showing it on a PC. It'll be better if you have a PC. Secondly, you're gonna need a drawing software. I'm using Adobe Photoshop 2020 CC, and this is the software that I've been using for a few years. You don't need to have exactly the same software or version, but I have never used other drawing applications before, so I don't know if this tutorial will be helpful for anyone who is using any software other than Photoshop. But if you can do it, then go for it. And the last thing that you're gonna need is a drawing tablet or a graphics tablet, which is a must if you want to follow this tutorial. That's it. Take your pens and let's get started. The first thing that we're gonna do is make a new layer, which will be our background. And if you want the same background color as I have, we will be using this exact background throughout the video. Here is the hexadecimal value for the background. Now make another new layer on which we'll make our tree. We select the brush tool. We'll now select the brush tool by clicking B on your keyboard and right click on your mouse. It will bring a pop-up from which you're going to select the pressure size hard round brush. Now with this brush we're gonna draw a squiggly line, which will be our main tree. You can hit Ctrl Z to undo and get rid of the line if you don't like it. As you can see, I myself have to do it a couple of times. After we have a squiggly line that we like, we'll make our brush a bit smaller by clicking the third bracket, or I'll show you this on the screen, the key that I mean on your keyboard. Then we'll draw some smaller squiggly lines connected to our bigger line. These will be the branches of our tree. Then we'll draw more of them connected to the smaller ones. You can draw as many as you want. After we're done drawing all our squiggly lines, as you can see, now we have our tree. Now we're going to make a new layer and change our brushes. We will use a cherry blossom brush. As this is not a default brush, you need to download it and add it to your brush library. The link for this is in the description below. It should download in a zip or RAR file. Just extract the contents and you should have something like this. To add this brush in Photoshop, while you have your brush tool selected, right click, then in the pop-up click the gear icon on the top right side and click import brushes. Then locate your brush file, select it, then just click load, and then there should be a folder containing the brushes we need. From there we'll choose the sample 9 brush. Before we use this brush we need to tweak it a bit. To tweak it we need to go to our brush settings. It should be on the right of your window with another brush icon. If you can't find it, then go to the Windows tab and click brush settings. We're going to select scattering. Make sure there is a tick mark on the little box. Now make a new layer. Now we're gonna put the sakuras, otherwise known as the cherry blossoms. I'll just keep on calling the sakuras for the like sakuras is just one word and cherry blossom is two words. You get it. Now just draw on the sakuras. You can increase or decrease the size of the flowers by clicking the starting third bracket or ending third bracket. Now after putting some, I'm just gonna free transform it to resize it. For free transform, click Ctrl T on your keyboard, then just resize it. I'm gonna put some more. It's the same process. You can repeat it as many times as you want. I did all the cherries on the same layer, but I would recommend you use 2 or 3 layers for the cherries. So I'm going to get back to you after I'm done putting all the flowers. So after you're done drawing all your cherries, now we're going to put some color to our tree. At first make a new layer, then clip it to the tree layer. Now select the default soft brush. Same thing, right click on your mouse while you have your brush tool selected, go up and choose the soft round brush. Turn on the opacity sensitivity, it's this thing right here. Make sure you turn off scattering in the brush settings or it will scatter the color. Then make a new layer, clip it to the tree layer as I've already told. The shortcut for making a clipping mask or clipping a layer to another layer is Ctrl-Alt-G, or it's like Command-Option-G for Mac users. I think I'm not a Mac user. Now in that clipped layer we're going to color the tree. Like it will be a slight color, like we're just going to give it a slight tint, you can see. Select a sky blue color. Now just color to your heart's desire. I would recommend you not overdoing it, like just don't color up the entire tree sky blue. It should be white with a hint of blue on it. Now we're gonna put some outer glow and drop shadow to our cherries, aka the cherry blossom flowers, sakuras. In the outer glow menu, select a color which is most similar to the cherries but just a tad brighter. You can use the eyedropper tool to like sample the color and just make it a bit brighter. Play around with the opacity and spread to your liking. Now we are going to add a drop shadow to it. Just take the drop shadow option. I just left it as it was because it was okay for me, but you can play around with it if you want. Now this step is optional, but if you want to do it, you can do it. Just duplicate this layer by hitting Ctrl-J on your keyboard. Again, go into layer styles. This time add a color overlay. At first sample the color of your cherry, like the original color, the pinkish color that we gave, or if you require the hexadecimal, here it is. Then just make the color a bit darker, not a bit, like a moderately darker. Now after making it darker, move it below the original cherries layer. You can do it by dragging with your mouse, or you can hit Control third bracket ending. You can hit Control ending third bracket. Sorry for the slip tongue. Then click V to go back to your move tool. Now just free transform it and place it where you want. I just made it smaller and moved it a bit. Then tweak the opacity to your liking. I've set mine to 52%. I'm just gonna erase the excess flowers. To do this safely, create a layer mask by hitting this icon. Then while having your brush tool selected, click D. It will make your colors a default, but by clicking on the layer mask it should become black and white. But if in case it doesn't become black and white, just click D. And while having your black color selected, just brush out the excess flowers. As you can see, if you it will remove the excess it will remove the flowers. Do this for both the flower layers or just one layer if you didn't create the other one. Now, what we're going to do is select all our layers except for the background layer, then right click on the mouse and select convert to smart object. Now our entire tree will become one layer. That free transform the layer and make it smaller and put it to one side. Because now we're going to make the cliff that our tree is going to be in. Make a new layer, select the default hard round brush. You should know how to draw a cliff, but if you don't, just see what I'm doing and just copy it. After drawing it, I just free transform it to get it the way I want. After you're done drawing in the cliff, fill it with the color with the fill tool, which is this one right here. Just click on the inside of the outline, then there will be a gap. After using the fill tool, just fill it in with the brush. If your clip layer was at the bottom like mine, then drag it to the top and free transform the tree and put it on the cliff. Now and make sure the tree layer is below the cliff layer. Now make another layer and clip it to the cliff layer. Now use a soft round brush to give it a sense of light which is coming from the tree. Now we're going to shadowy texturize the cliff. Now we're going to need a texture brush for this. I'm using one from a brush pack that I have downloaded. The link for that will be in the description, but there will be a lot of brushes, not just one, as it's a pack. These brushes belong to this YouTuber right here. I used the sample 7.1 or 7.2 brush. I'm not quite sure it's the 7.1 or 7.2. But you can just use a grain brush if you want. Now on the clipped layer, we're just going to give some textured shadows using the darker color than the color of our cliff. Rinse and repeat until you get it right. Now some lights will also be textured, and lastly add some shadows to the lower edge of the cliff with the soft round brush. Then we are going to resize the entire thing to our liking. After that, create a new layer above the tree layer, and we're just going to add some subtle lights to our tree and make sure the opacity sensitivity is on for this, and use the soft round brush. I'm using a sky blue as well as a pink color. You can have the different glows in different layers if you want, but I did it in just one layer.
No.
Now we're going to put the petals that are falling from the tree. For this, for this we also need a special brush. The link for the brush will be in the description. I already showed how to do it. I will divide this video into chapters so that it's more convenient for you. Before you start putting your petals, make sure you turn on scattering in the brush settings and opacity settings. As you can sorry, not opacity settings, I mean opacity sensitivity, the thing that I showed before. As you can see, I forgot to turn on the opacity sensitivity, so I had to kind of erase some. Then put petals on your then put petals till your heart desires. Put a moderate amount, not too much, not too little. Have some big and some small. Now we're going to give a little bit of a blue tint to our petals. Make a new layer above the petals layer and clip it to the petal layer. Then you use the soft round brush with opacity sensitivity on and scattering off and a sky blue color selected. Now we're going to add a outer glow to the petal layer. Play around with the layer style settings till you find what you like. Now click Ctrl-Alt-Shift-E. The command will be here on the screen to render all your active layers into one layer. After that, convert that layer into a smart object. Now for the final step, we're going to put a camera raw filter on this to give it a bit more of a spark. While you have your smart object layer selected, hit Ctrl-Shift-A. Now play around with these settings till you get what you like. You don't need to go to the other panels. Basic correction is enough for us. Now I'm just going to tweak mine a bit. And we are done, guys. So this is the cherry blossom tree illustration. Hope you liked the video, hope you've learned something and enjoyed. Peace out, see you in the next one. Like, share, subscribe.